Friends, if I want to watch super hit movie The Outlaws in English, then you must like this video. If you're visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Friends, in today's video, the movie we're going to talk about is called The Outlaws. We will talk about what this movie is and where you can watch it. All the interesting facts about this movie in today's video, I am going to tell you. I am also going to give you all the information on which platform or on which satellite channel you will watch this movie. Also, we will talk in detail about the technical department, music department, pre-production filming, post-production, budget, box office collection of this film. We will also talk about the story of this film. And I will also give you a small review of the story of this film. Apart from this, we will discuss about the facts of this film's storyline, star cast actors' performance in the film, and which character has played which role. That's why I request you friends to watch this video till the end, so let's start the video. The Outlaws is a 2017 South Korean crime action film, written and directed by Kang Yun-seong, and starring Dong-seok and Yoon Kye-sang. It was released on October 3, 2017. Set in 2004, the film revolves around Detective Seok-do, who tries to control the gang wars between Chinese-Korean gangs, while also dealing with a ruthless loan shark named Jang Chen. The film is based on a May 2004 incident in the Chinatown of Garabong-dong, Gurogu, Seoul, when 14 Chinese Koreans from the Hwang Jeon-e faction were arrested on charges of attempted murder, and an April 2007 incident in which 7 members of the Yambian organization Hokusapa, also based in the Garabong-dong, were arrested, and 26 were indicted without detention. The Outlaws is the first installment of the Roundup series. It was followed by 3 sequels: The Roundup, 2022, The Roundup, No Way Out, 2023, and The Roundup, Punishment, 2024. Plot: Seok-do is a detective in Gimcheon, Guro District, Seoul. Ma and his captain John Illman try to keep the peace while 2 local Chinese-Korean gangs battle over control of Chinatown: the Venom Gang headed by An Sung-tae and the Cobra Gang headed by Jang Yi-soo. Jang Chen, bloodthirsty leader of the Chinese loan-sharking Black Dragon Gang, makes his own brutal moves to take over Chinatown along with his henchmen Sung-rak and Yang-tae. They kill Sung-tae and take over Jang Yi-soo's casino. Enraged, Jang Yi-soo attacks the casino. Sung-rak and Yang-tae fight with Jang Yi-soo and his henchmen, but are interrupted by Ma, who arrests Sung-rak. Yang-tae escapes and informs Jang Chen. Ma and John learn about Jang Chen's crimes and plan to arrest him. Jang Chen and Yang-tae attack Jang Yi-soo and his henchmen and kill them at Jang Yi-soo's mother's birthday party. Later, Jang Chen's location is revealed to hotelier and CEO Hwang. Jang Chen had killed Hwang's men in his hotel. Hwang's men try to kill Jang Chen in revenge, but he manages to escape. Hwang is later killed by Jang Chen, who learned of Hwang's attempt on his life. Detective Ma seeks the help of Chinatown citizens for help to catch the Chinese loan sharks. They agree and start taking photos of the gang members. Ma and his fellow police officers arrest all of them, including Yang-tae. One of the police officers named Kang Hong-seok sees Jang Chen and pursues him. However, he gets trapped, and Jang Chen tries to run him over with a car. Ma saves him by crashing into Jang Chen's car. But Jang Chen escapes. Ma chases after him but loses sight of him after a while. Jang Chen reaches the airport to fly back to China. Ma finds Chen in the airport restroom and they fight. Ma manages to knock down Jang Chen and leaves him handcuffed in the restroom. The gang leaders are arrested, and Jeon is congratulated by the commissioner, where Ma and his team celebrate for solving the case. Just then, Ma is called by the commissioner to investigate another case. Cast Dong-seok as Seok-do, a detective lieutenant in Seoul's crime unit, assigned to put an end to Chinese-Korean gang wars in the Garabong district of Seoul. Yoon Kye-sang as Jang Chen, Chinese Zhang Qian, a notorious crime lord from Harbin, China, leader of the Black Dragon Gang. Heilungbo, a triad gang, who comes to Garabong to collect debts and is known for dismembering anyone who resists. Jae-yoon as Boss Hwang Chun-sik, Choi Gwi-hwa as Captain John Illman, Im Hyung-jun as Do Sung-woo, Jin Sung-kyu as Wee Sung-rak, Chinese, Hepburn Wei Cheng-lu, Jang Chen's dependable right-hand man, Hong Ki-jun as Sergeant Park Byung-sik-hyo, Dong-won as Detective Oh Dong-gyun-ha, Jun as Detective Kang Hong-seok, Kim Sung-kyu as Yang-tae, Chang-tae, Hepburn Yang-tae, Jang Chen's dependable left-hand man, Park Ji-won as Jang Yi-soo, Chinese Janishu, Hyo Sung-tae as An Sung-tae, Viper. Min Kyung-jin as Yun Gil Restaurant CEO, Ji-sun as Wang-oh Kim, Gutek as CEO, Kwak Park Sang-gyu as CEO, Won-yoon as An Hae-kyung. Special appearances: Cho Jin-woong as Chief of Regional Police Investigation Unit, Jung In-gi as Chief of Police, Oh Min-ae as Garabong-dong Female Merchant, Ye Jung-hwa as Airport Head, Yoon-ju as Kang Hong-suk's fiancé. Production filming. Principal photography began on February 27, 2017 and ended on July 19, 2017. Reception. The Outlaws opened in South Korea on October 3, 2017. By October 23, it grossed $36.3 million from more than 5 million admissions. 1 month after it was released, the film marked 6.05 million admissions with 44.1 million gross. By December 1, the film had reached 6.87 million admissions with a gross of 51.8 million, making it the third highest grossing domestic film of the year in South Korea and the third best-selling R-rated Korean film of all time. The Roundup, 2022. Main article: The Roundup, 2022 film. A sequel of the film titled The Roundup, directed by Lee Sang-yong, was released on May 18, 2022. Dong-seok, Choi Gwi-hwa, Park Ji-won, Hyo Dong-won, and Ha-jin reprised their roles. The film became the highest-grossing film of the year, surpassing 10 million ticket sales on the 25th day since its release. It also became the third highest-grossing film and ninth most-viewed film in South Korean cinema history. The Roundup, No Way Out, 2023. Main article: The Roundup, No Way Out. The second sequel, The Roundup, No Way Out, released in 2023. The Roundup, Punishment, 2024. Main article: The Roundup, Punishment. The third sequel, The Roundup, Punishment, released in 2024. Remake. It was remade in India as Radi by Prabhu Deva, starring Salman Khan in the title role. Based on the Hoksapa incident, a real-life gang turf war that carved up Seoul's Garabong district, Yun-seong Kang's The Outlaws is a robustly entertaining crime picture. Uncompromisingly badass cops go up against ruthless Chinese gangsters in a propulsively action-heavy bloodbath, which combines axe-based mayhem with some genuinely funny light relief. Boisterous and bloody-minded, the film has already proved to be one of the year's significant hits domestically. Although the film lacks the polish of top-tier arthouse material, the forceful energy of its narrative, together with star Dong-seok Ma's enjoyably fractious turn as beefy, serious crime cop Seok-do Ma, could help the film connect with fans of Asian genre cinema, both on the festival circuit and perhaps theatrically. Although it could certainly work on VOD platforms, this is the kind of film which would play best with a receptive and vocal audience. Detective Ma's entrance into the film captures his distinctive approach to crime fighting with an exemplary piece of character setup. Two hot-headed low-lives have got into an argument, which quickly escalates when one pulls a blade and the other grabs a carving knife from a market stall. Detective Ma strides into the frame, barking into his mobile phone, and, without interrupting his conversation, delivers his trademark open-handed slap with one meaty paw, disarming the combatants and dispensing his unique brand of no-nonsense law enforcement. Ma, who will be familiar to audiences from Train to Busan and The Good, the Bad, the Weird, more or less carries a film which has no shortage of colorfully extreme characters. His interview technique is highly effective. To the truth room. He shrugs. When one hapless gangster isn't sufficiently forthcoming with information. The truth room is a corner of the office which is concealed by what looks like a shower curtain in which Detective Ma slaps some justice into resistant wrongdoers. As they hustle the hustlers and punch their way through routine policing assignments, it seems that Detective Ma and his men are separated from the bad guys by a badge alone. This is necessary, perhaps. The new wave of Chinese gangsters, freshly smuggled into Korea, contains some of the most cold-blooded customers ever to cleaver up a rival and shove his body parts into a suitcase. The filmmaking approach aims for visceral realism, which captures messy violence rather than stylized and elegantly choreographed fight sequences. The camera is belligerently gung-ho, flinging us into the fight whether we want to be there or not. The underlit, slightly murky look of the photography does occasionally make it hard to work out just whose limbs are being hacked off, but then arguably, it also complements the grubbiness of the story. This is not a movie which is meant to look nice, after all. The editing is as brisk and decisive as a knife fight. The score brings swagger and sleaze to the picture, but it's frequently drowned out by all the shouting and stabbing. A thrilling climactic fight sequence in an airport bathroom ensures that the film goes out on a high. Unlike some Korean films, The Outlaws resists the temptation to overpad the ending with needless exposition. Bloody gang warfare in Seoul takes on a slapstick edge in Kang Yun-seong's engaging action serial comedy. While police brutality as slapstick may not be everyone's cup of tea, it certainly does get laughs in The Outlaws. This hectic action comedy, based however loosely on gang warfare in Seoul over the past decade, stars the estimable Ma Dong-seok aka Don Lee, trained to Busan. As a police investigator who simply bulldozes through all opposition, be it legal or lethal. More dependent on general high energy and a farcical edge than it is on outstanding action set pieces, though there's plenty of well-tuned violence. The Outlaws is a very entertaining, if not quite first-rank genre exercise that reps an auspicious bow for first-time feature director Kang Yun-seong. It performed superbly at home last year, and has opened or sold to numerous offshore territories since. The tangled plot, drawn from a 2004 gang mop-up operation by Seoul police, has our badge-wearing protagonists dealing with a tsunami of rivalrous criminal activities. Korean, Chinese, and Chinese-Korean gangs edgily coexist in the down-market Garabong district, until the arrival of three exceedingly cold-blooded emigrants, led by long-haired Jang Chen, ex-K-pop star Yoon Kye-sang. They recognize no pre-existing agreements or territories. Starting out as brutal debt collectors, they simply terrorize their way into taking over whole operations from the established gangs. Tasked with tracking down these Black Dragon perps and halting their escalating bloodshed is brick-built cop Ma-seok-do, a bull who never met a china shop he couldn't and wouldn't reduce to rubble. Such methods occasionally irk his superiors, but they do tend to get the job done. Nonetheless, Jang Chen continues to elude arrest as his gang's size and power grows, along with their penchant for committing acts of extreme violence in boldly public settings. There's nary a dull moment in the 2-hour film, which favors grit over high style and manages to locate a certain mordant, messy humor in the nastiest criminal doings. Our villain has a particular fondness for dismemberment. There's enough real rooting value here to avoid a sense that life and death are being trivialized for screen thrills. Still, the busy, picks dangerous clutter has an almost Preston Sturges-like air of ensemble comedy on the brink of slapstick chaos, with Lee a combination of Charles Bronson and William Demarest, an unstoppable force prone to blowing his top at any moment. While there's genuine threat in scenes dominated by the Black Dragons, elsewhere, particularly in the Serious Crimes Unit office, Kang demonstrates a real talent for packing scenes with inspired throwaway comic lines and bits of business. It's all expertly handled, from casting to fight choreography to location choices and design contributions. So it makes perfect sense that when the principal good guys and bad guys get their final face-off, the melee takes place in a public toilet. That's just the right way to end a caper that, to more or less equal degrees, has been bloody, dirty, and absurd. So I thought I'd watch all 4 of these over the next couple of days, mostly to see Ma Dong-seok smashing people, as that's really all anybody needs in their lives. The Outlaws wasn't quite what I expected. Ma doesn't hit people nearly as much as I was expecting, and this is far more of a crime film than an action one. Its plot is more convoluted than it needs to be, and, obviously, it's too long. Not lacking in entertainment, though, even if it needs to give more character to Ma's team, especially as he's not front and center for good chunks of this. Some nice slapping, though, and the end fight is excellent. I would imagine they're all like this, so let's see. If you like what you see, you can go to camsiview.biz to see more of my work on video game reviews, editorials, lists, Kickstarters, developer interviews, and review talk about animated films. If you appreciate what I do, consider contributing to my Patreon at patreon.com/camsiview. It would help support my work and keep the website up. Thanks for checking out my work, and I hope you enjoy this review. The way people view procedural crime dramas, whether they follow detectives or police, has changed throughout the years. or has it? While the vocal criticism of shows and films revolving around police has been more abundant the past couple of years with how much of the world has had a more negative viewpoint of them, people do love their procedural dramas and movies. This isn't meant to be some kind of, ha-ha, media-goers, I caught you red-handed situation when it's just common knowledge. Audiences love stories about police, detectives, and/or careers that are adjacent to the two, like lawyers and defense attorneys. An example in point is that one of the most popular shows streaming right now is the USA Network show Suits, and some of the most syndicated and rewatched shows are Law & Order, CSI, and NCIS. People like this stuff, and there is a complicated relationship we all have with how shows portray police, detectives, and jobs that are connected to those first two careers. Some do a better job of being critical of the actions of the police, and some vilify everyone else but the police, which can result in something like Blue Bloods. It all depends on the intentions of the showrunners, writers, and filmmakers. Though sometimes it's just all about watching a cool action star go out there and kick some tail. You want to see fists fly, some good laughs, and see someone like, say, Dong-seok aka Don Lee be the star of his own film. That's why we are going to talk about 2017's Crime City, or as it is known in the US, The Outlaws. Directed and written by Kang Yun-seong, this is the first film in the Crime City franchise and is followed up by Crime City 2, aka The Roundup, Crime City 3, aka The Roundup No Way Out, and Crime City 4, aka The Roundup Punishment. In The Outlaws, we follow Detective Ma Sok-do, played by Dong-seok. He leads a group of detectives as they take care of and handle any chaos and tussles between the Chinese-Korean gangs in their area. Unfortunately for them, a new gang known as Black Dragon, with their leader, Jang Cheon, played by Yoon Kye-sang, a dangerous loan shark, decides to make a move to take down the gangs in the Chinatown area of Seoul. It is up to Ma Sok-do and his team of detectives and officers to take them down before Jang Cheon kills as many people as possible to claim control of the area. This film sure feels like a throwback to the old action crime films that you would watch during the 80s, where you got a ragtag group of characters or one character who is the best man, or who thinks he's the best man for the job, taking on some deadly gangs to save the day. Ma Sok-do is sarcastic, constantly clowns on his boss, and puts on a tough exterior for the folks with whom he interacts. Luckily, while there are moments where they do some questionable things to get the information and tips that he needs, they manage to balance out the dance between the questionable actions with our detectives being likable. It definitely has some historical context, with this film apparently based on a true story, but it doesn't really focus on any of the cultural context or take time to dive into the time period. It's more interested in focusing on our detectives trying to piece together who this new crime gang and their boss is, our loan shark leader causing trouble, and Ma Sok-do befriending some of the townsfolk, making sure they are safe from the hands of the gangs. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's interesting how straightforward this film's story is. It's a very meat-and-potatoes film. Sometimes I do want a film to tackle some complex and interesting topics, but sometimes you just want to see an action star actor say some fun lines and see him kick some butt with some well-done fight scenes. While Ma Dong-seok is a big guy and is a trained mixed martial artist and personal trainer, the film plays up the brawler boxer archetype of action set pieces, and that fits him perfectly. Sometimes, you can tell when an action film doesn't quite know how to shoot the action or the actors in question. Maybe the actors can't actually fight, and they edit the heck out of the sequences in question in order to hide the limitations, or they put more agile fighters in cramped spaces that hinder their skills. The fight scenes here show Ma Dong-seok's strength and ability to take a few hits, and while they aren't flashy action set pieces, Ma Dong-seok has had some amazing set pieces, whether it's his role in films like Train to Busan, Unstoppable, or The Cop, The Gangster, The Devil. Plus, seeing him knock some punks who are way out of their league is satisfying, and that's what you need to accomplish when you are making your action film. It helps that while you are here to see some punches getting thrown, the acting also achieves the right tone for what you want with a film like this. We already talked about how Dong-seok captured that gruff but likable energy from the lead. Yoon Kye-sang as Jang Kyun is sinister, collected, and imposing, but snaps when he really needs you to know why you don't want to get on his bad side. Choi Gwi-hwa plays the captain, trying to keep everything together, and plays off of Dong-seok in a great comedic pairing. The cast itself is great, with a special shout-out to Park Ji-won, who has shown up in another Dong-seok's film, Unstoppable, among other notable Korean films. He plays one of the gang leaders, and his portrayal of someone who acts tough but crumbles when Dong-seok shows his face is great. You know, the first film loved his character due to how much focus he has in this film, but also shows up in the sequels as well. The only real downside to this otherwise entertaining ride is that the third act drags its heels until the final encounter between Dong-seok and Yoon Kye-sang. Not that it's padding, because the film has so little else going on, but it has so many elements that take the focus, like the owner of the hostess bars getting into the war between the loan shark and the other gangs, and the film's more straightforward, earnest nature, showing its lightweight nature. Normally, I am very much down for a film to be unabashedly earnest with its storytelling and character dynamics, but I felt bored by how the action slowed down for a bit. The acting is quite good, and there are a few moments where the dialogue is top-notch, but the pacing in the third act kills it. It does try to keep it compelling by seeing the conflicts play out, some injuries, and character deaths, but this film could have been a better paced 2 hours or cut down to 90 to 110 minutes. Even with the wonky pacing in the third act, The Outlaws is a fun and easy to get into film that is a great example of a film you can just turn on and watch anytime you want. Many times certain films will require viewers to be in a certain mood to watch them, and that requirement varies from viewer to viewer, but action films with good writing and storytelling are always an easy lay for this writer. Sadly, there is no physical release for this film, and is only available digitally through Amazon Prime. It's odd how Dong-seok's filmography is readily available in physical and digital outlets, but this one is only available in one place, which is a bummer, because I can easily recommend spending the $10 to buy it digitally if it was anywhere other than Amazon Prime or Amazon's digital storefront. We really need distributors to do better and make their films physically and/or digitally available everywhere, so that foreign films, indie films, and just films in general don't get lost in the shuffle. Luckily, it is available streaming on multiple free services if you're willing to sign up for another Tubi TV-style service and such. If you need to know where it's playing, just go to a site like justwatch.com to find where it's playing. The Outlaws is definitely a film that will have y'all saying, "Play it again, Cam?" Directed by Kian-on, written by Kang, produced by starring Madong Yeon-king, cinematography Juwon Kim Yong-sung, edited by Kim Sun-man Wang, production companies Hongfilm Entertainment, distributed by Megabox Plus, release date October 3, 2007 in South Korea, running time 121 minutes, country South Korea, language Korean, box office 52.9 million. So guys, this is their view of the Outlaws movie, and some information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting, and if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.